Hello. Welcome back to the Talk to Me podcast. I'm your host, Samara Chandon, and I am beyond excited for this episode today because this is a place that I've been wanting to visit for so long, ever since I first heard all about it from other exchange students, and I'm very excited for these two to speak on the podcast today. I have two very exciting guests, and I'm very excited for you guys to meet them. I just want to start off by saying thank you guys, everybody that's been on the podcast so far, and everybody that will be on it in the future. I really appreciate you guys participating and coming and, just like spending your time to plan these episodes out with me. And I know it's hard with not just the time differences, but the recording and everything and the planning. So I really appreciate it. And of course, I appreciate our listeners for tuning in every single week and listening to more stories from around the world. And I hope you're learning something. So thank you guys so much. And let's get right into this episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Talk to Me podcast. I have two guests today I'm very excited about because I'm also very curious on learning more about Finland. I remember a conversation I had with a bunch of the Finnish girls at our first Rotary conference, and we got to all talk together. And during that time, I got so interested in Finland and everything about them because I'm going to be honest, I didn't really think a lot about Finland before, but the amount of rich culture and history, I'm very excited to talk today to these two guests. So allow me to introduce them to you. First, I have Ari. He is 18 years old and he's originally from central northern Finland and currently resides in Turku, southwest Finland. He's awaiting the start of his photography studies and is currently employed at a hotel. He has a history and participation in youth councils at various levels, school, city, and province. Ari has also managed two businesses and focused on forging a path in photography and marketing. He dedicates his free time to sports, quality moments with his partner, and doing arts. So do you want to say hi?
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you, and I'm so excited to be here today.
Perfect. My second guest is the wonderful Hilma. She is from Lapland, but now lives alone next to the capital. She's 18 and finishing high school, and the exchange made her realize that she will study tourism and catering after graduation. In her free time, she goes to the gym, travels, plays the guitar, piano, and sings. And she loves baking and sells cakes. And for work, she teaches kids how to cook and bake. You want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic. All right, so I just want to get right into it because I have a lot of questions for you guys today. And I know we had a little bit of a conversation before on some questions that you guys normally get asked about Finland. So I want to start off real strong and ask about the weather. How's the weather actually like? Because a lot of people, I feel like, view it as like an absolute tundra. Like we think about it like always cold 24/7. So how is the weather?
It really depends on the season. I feel like a lot of people think we only have one season, which is like winter and Christmas, but it's really like 4 different seasons. Right now it's like really cold, but it's in summer we actually have like pretty good weather. I think during the summer, if you're in the south, the max would be like 30, but usually it's like around 20 or something. Right now it's probably like -10.
-10? For all of my people that use Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius is 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and -10 is where they're at is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's definitely interesting. That's great. I also wanted to ask, just because I've been seeing this recently on social media and everything, what are the Christmas celebrations like in Finland? Like I see a lot of markets, I see a lot of like decorations and everything. How is that?
Hilma can tell you better. She lives right next to the Santa Claus village, or lived.
Yeah.
I want
So
Hilma you to answer it.
so my family, they live like 1 kilometer away from the Santa village, and my friend, she actually works there as an elf. And
No way.
there you can there you can go meet the Santa Claus. And during like the 24th of December, there's gonna be like a Santa Claus living with some reindeer, and I don't know, it's super cool. And then I feel like during the winter, I mean, it's like all around the year that there are a lot of tours in my city. It's called Rovaniemi, and it's kind of like the city where Lapland starts. So a lot of tourists go there, and Christmas, it's like the biggest celebration in Finland, I think.
I
Really?
want to add to that, like Christmas is like truly magical. Like I was in Spain, did my exchange in there, and I was so disappointed of the way that they did Christmas because I've
Yeah.
gotten used to the Finnish one. So a high recommendation for spending a Christmas in Finland. That's the place to go.
It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
beautiful.
especially like if you go a little bit more to the north, you will have a lot of snow. I mean, right now in the south of Finland, we also have like a lot of snow, but it's so pretty in Lapland right now. And I'm going there like next week. And my Dutch friend, she's like a girl I met during my exchange. She's coming here, and I'm gonna like show Lapland and then after the south of Finland. So I think that will be really cool. We will go like ice skating, snowboarding, maybe go see some huskies right next to my house. So I feel like
That's
that's the
crazy. Do you
uh,
guys both snowboard and ski?
yeah,
I
yeah.
do
Yes,
snowboarding all the way.
I used to ski, but I changed to snowboarding, and it's like the best sport you can do. The best thing.
Really? No, I know how to ski. I don't know how to snowboard just because I don't know why. I can't like process the fact that my feet have to stay together the entire time. I don't
No,
know
but
what about
snowboarding
it.
is like LA. I love snowboarding so much, and you should really learn it because
Yeah, you should
because
try it.
skiing looks ugly and snowboarding is like way cooler.
I will
No
make
hate
it.
to
I
anyone
have to
though.
take classes now. You guys have to
Yeah,
teach me, and
exactly.
I'll come to Finland for Christmas. That is the dream. The dream, I
Yeah.
think, is Christmas in Finland. I think it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
They're like igloos made out of ice, and you can stay in an ice hotel for a night. So I think that's like what some rich people do when they come on vacation to Finland.
That's gorgeous. That's something I definitely want to cover. And like I feel like traveling, like I'm currently in high school too. So like in my 20s and everything, I want to go and travel everywhere. So definitely Finland is at the top of my bucket list, especially spending a Christmas there. That would be absolutely magical. I will let you guys know when I'm there, obviously. And you
Definitely,
guys can give me
definitely.
some more tips. By the way, I wanted to talk about the Aurora Borealis. Now, I know that's a very famous thing for a lot of people, and I wanted to know, like, do you know some spots? Like, what do you guys know about the Aurora Borealis? Best places to see it.
You can see them. The more north you go, the better chances of seeing them you get. I just finished a Lapland tour with the Finnish exchange students or the students who came to Finland, like the inbounds, and we did not get a chance to see them. And it's like it's really either you see them or you don't. It's really you can't really predict when you see them. Predict. I don't know.
Mhm.
My
Yeah,
English
yeah,
is
predict.
bad, but anyways, it's really magical. I used to live in as you told, I used to live in the central slash northern Finland, um, and we had really good we had really good aurora borealis there. Like we saw them a lot. I used to see them from my bedroom's window,
Oh,
but now that I
wow.
live in Turku, it's a lot more rare to see them. I, for example, haven't seen them in Turku at all.
Really?
Yeah, like in the south, I don't think it's like I don't know, like a tiny, tiny chance to see them. But then in Rovaniemi, the north, um, I think more like in the winter, also autumn, I think. But it's like it depends on the weather. There has to be like no clouds.
Hmm.
And I don't know what else, but some of my friends they know some good spots, and it's better like if you go somewhere far from the center to the middle of the forest, so there are like no other lights, so then maybe a better chance to see them.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I wanted to ask my next question. Now, Finnish. Finnish, I've heard Finnish before, and it does not sound like any other language I think I've ever heard besides, I think, Estonian. That's the only other language I can think of that sounds even like like a little bit similar, but it does sound very, very, very different. How do you think learning Finnish is for people that are not born or brought up in Finland? How is that?
I have friends from Nepali, and they've been to Finland for like a few years, and they're like all studying Finnish. I think like they've learned something, but they are still like, a lot of people are shy to speak Finnish because we have like so many, I don't know, like ways to say the words, and we need to learn like all that in school also.
Mhm.
But Finnish accent, it's really hard to learn for people who don't speak like Finnish or Estonian.
You tell me your like one of you, just tell me your favorite kind of sentence or saying in Finnish. Just so people can like kind of hear what it sounds like.
This is a bad one because I have, but I don't know if they're appropriate like for
Okay.
the show. But okay, so I can teach you how to say Merry Christmas in Finnish. It's hyvää joulua.
Joulua. Is that good?
Exactly. Fairly good. Yeah.
I feel
Wow, that
like,
is a lot different.
yeah, I feel like words that I like, maybe something you can relate to Lapland would be revontulet, which means the Northern Lights. And I feel like a basic word we can teach to people is rakkaus, which means love.
I want to add to this, like, there's lots of jokes going around about like Finnish language of like, for example, if you want to say I love you in Finnish, it would be minä rakastan sinua. And
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like
wow.
it doesn't sound like welcoming at all. Like it's pretty rough.
Or I know, Hilma, you showed me one Finnish song. I'm not even gonna.
Oh, true. Yeah, it was I think it was Kosti maailman ympäri. Is that, I
Yes,
don't
it
know
was
if
that
that
one. It was that one, yes. And I still have it on my playlist and I still listen to it every day because I have a playlist of when I went through the exchange students, I made like a master playlist of all the songs, and I think that's like the best one I have. And I love
Oh
it
my
so much. I listen to it so much. I hope you know that.
Oh my god, I love that. I absolutely love that.
Well, anyways, switching gears, I wanted to talk about the Finnish education system and the fact that it is the happiest country in the world.
I think about the education system that it is fairly good, and I like when I was in Spain, I especially recognized that we have so much more freedom. That's the one thing that I would say.
Absolutely.
Like we are free to choose our courses, what we want to do, and we don't have that much homework, and we have breaks between every classes. Like we have 15-minute breaks between
Between
every
every
classes.
class.
Yeah, and
Oh, wow.
but like I feel like I'm the wrong person again to talk about this because I dropped out, but I'm starting back like in a month, so I don't really remember anything. The programs are all really different from each other. So I'm starting now. I didn't do high school, as I told you. I went to music school before, and now I'm doing the same type of school, but in media and photography. So
Oh,
Hilma,
cool.
you can tell you about your high school experience because I don't have any say on that.
I prefer the Finnish school system at the moment. I'm in this one school where you can do a lot of like music stuff. I just started in a band here, and we have band classes during the school day. In this school we have a lot of events, and it's not the same in every high school, but I feel like in most of them you have a lot of freedom, and the free school lunch, I really appreciate it after my exchange.
Yeah.
I really love
We're going on a budget on exchange for sure. For sure. So like in the US we have like prom and we have homecoming, we have the football games. What are like kind of like those but for Finland and like Finnish school?
But we're gonna have a similar thing to prom, which is vanhat, and it's just like a dance where you go. It's like really big thing. Then we have I don't know how to explain penkkarit. Ari, do you have any idea how to explain?
It's like when is it seniors? I don't know the proper term, but the
Yeah,
last year students.
Yes,
I'll be-
seniors.
Yeah, when the last year students like prepare for the like revising break. Like when you study for the finals, you get break from everything else. So when you start the break, you go back to the school dressed up, and first, at least in my town's high school, they mess up the whole school for the younger people to clean up, and then they're dressed up and they throw candy at everyone and
Yeah, they
sing
try
some
to.
songs and go on a truck, like a huge, when I don't mean like an American truck, like a huge one, and there's like bunch of people in the back throwing candy in the streets. It's so cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool when everyone's like dressed up and then you go with your friends and classmates. But I feel like those are like the bigger things, but I feel like the most what like makes a difference in the school days, it's like we have just like smaller events too. A lot of the mornings when I come to school, there are people like doing a dance show. There are music, like my school is full of bands. There has been like a lot of singers that came from my school. You can also like do like radio, TV stuff. I don't know, there's so many different things. And then we have like a lot of theme weeks. So every single day of the week we have a different theme, and then you dress up for it.
Oh my god, it's like we have like a spirit week, but it's only like, I mean, some of the schools they have it different, but my school we have like a spirit week before like the homecoming, like the homecoming dance or the parade or whatever. And I want to talk travel destinations. What in like traveling to Finland, obviously it being far away, but what are the best places to visit to kind of get a grasp of like the entirety of Finland? I don't only mean like the northern lights and everything. I want to know every single part, but what are like the best destinations to visit?
That's a good one. Avoid Helsinki. Hilma's gonna hate this because she lives next to it, but it's almost like the same thing as you would go to Stockholm or Oslo. This is really a stereotypical thing, but I would say that go somewhere else. For example, Rovaniemi is a great destination. You get to see Lapland, but if you want to go hardcore, you could go to Kittilä, or you could go
Oh
to
god.
where Saariselkä or wherever. And then I would go also to the east of Finland, like near Saimaa, because
Mhm.
I think it's a completely different vibe, because there's a lot of lakes and summer cottages and stuff like that. And then the part where I'm from, the biggest city around there is probably Kokkola, but it's boring. If you want to see some city life, don't go there. Um, but it's like my part of Finland is more like calm farms kind of stuff. So if you're into that, then you might want to visit that part. And then where I live in the southeast of Finland right now in Turku, I would say that's the best city of Finland. I might be biased, but I feel like that's the best destination because it has a lot of history. It's got the archipelago, like a lot of islands. Fun fact, Finland's got like 200,000 islands, right? Something like that. But it's got a lot of islands around that area. So you could go on an island cruise and stuff. And like Turku is the best city, I would say. Go there. Go there.
Well,
Turku and Lapland, and you're all good.
yeah, I really feel like we have like a little bit different opinion on this one, because I've probably been to Turku like once when I was 10 or something. I need to visit because I don't remember that much. But now that my friend from the Netherlands is coming here, well, she really is interested in Lapland. So first I'm taking her there. If you move to Finland, you should move to Helsinki if you're interested like in the like more modern technology. Also the public transport is really good here, and there are a lot of like things you can study here, and it's more people, more possibilities.
I will make sure to visit both of those. Absolutely, every single
Awesome.
location. I'm gonna make a list because I genuinely need to. I want to take my senior trip somewhere in Europe, so Finland might be the place, but also I might save it for Christmas just because I want to see
Oh
everything
yeah.
that I've been seeing.
True.
Before we finish up, I just wanted to ask if you guys have any final closing notes or something you want to say. You can say it about Finland, you can say about exchange, you can say about leadership, life, anything.
Yes, I feel like I have a lot to say, but I will try to like keep it keep it short. Probably not a lot of people will say, but an exchange year it's not gonna be easy, but it's worth it. Like I had some days when I wanted to go home, I was not feeling good, but if you get the opportunity to do an exchange year, it's like the best thing I've ever done, like the best choice. I met like the most amazing people during that year. I got best friends from another countries. I figured out what I want to do in the future, so it's like a great opportunity.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, and completely agree.
First about Finland, keep in mind there's like the seasons here are so strong. They you can really easily tell what season's going on. And for example, winter and summer are completely different. So keep in mind when you're traveling, for example, and I'll give you a pro tip: avoid November because it's ugly. And like just don't come here in November if you don't want to be
In Lapland,
depressed.
it's nice in November, but the south, no.
Yeah, exactly. So like keep in mind, summer is completely different vibe from winter, but you should
Yeah,
visit
different
both of
country.
them. Yeah. And about exchange here, I would say that was the best choice of my year. So I obviously highly recommend it. It can be really hard and tough, but in the end, it's really worth it. And the amount that I grew as a person, like I was obviously when I went there, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not gonna grow. Like everybody says that, just like blah blah blah. But I'm a completely different person now, and that's not a bad thing. Like I had such a big glow up mentally and physically. You should do it for the plot, you know? I
Yeah.
really
Yes.
like I highly recommend it.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on the podcast today. I really, really, really loved talking to you guys, and I hope you guys I hope to have you guys again on the podcast sometime soon. We'll see. I'm still trying to structure out how I want to do these episodes and everything, but I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you guys next week on the Talk to Me podcast.